Yo guys, Coach Theo here, Uncommon Sense. Very relaxed. I realized I didn't quite think this through. I just went to have a relaxation massage and I was going to record a video on my way back and I'm just like, just all melted. But it's nice and quiet right now, so I think it's going to be fine to do a bit more low-key video. Today I wanted to talk about how habits are built, alright? So first of all, what is a habit? It's something that you do regularly, continuously, over and over. Not necessarily, not all of our habits we do every day. Like not all of us go to the gym every day, for instance, but it might be your habit to do it, at lunchtime, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for instance. And also habits happen like effortlessly, like in the sense that you don't have to make such a big conscious decision to do it. Like, a workout you always have to put effort into, right? But it's not something like, oh, I have to push myself to go to the gym. When it's the habit, it's like, okay, it's lunchtime, it's time to go, right? So I'll be talking about how we make that happen, how we make something that currently is not a habit become a habit. So habits, they are really, it's stuff we've programmed into our subconscious, right? So what is the subconscious? It is something that your whole being is conscious of. Just you in your conscious thinking mind are not, right? So when you take on something new, it's not automated. Some things you were already born with in your subconscious, like for your heart to beat and your lungs to breathe, right? Take it chill there, little fella. All the dogs here, they want to protect their house. But so some things you didn't even have to really, practice breathing and beating your heart consciously. It just happened from the start. But, think as a baby, it was trial and error. You just kept trying to do shit until you figured out how to do it, and all of a sudden it's automated. The baby that once could just like, then it could sit, then it could crawl, then it could walk. After just continuously trying and trying and trying, doing conscious decisions, as well developed of a conscience or consciousness a baby has. But you see what I'm saying, right? And it's the same with everything else. You have to install the software. And with us humans, it's not like with a computer that you just put in a CD. Well, you don't really have to put in a CD these days either, but you see what I'm saying? It's not just press install and now it's there. We do it by repetition, right? So I think a good example, I took my driver's license, I guess 1.5 years ago, quite a little bit late to the party. But I was thinking about it very much then, that every time you come, you have to be super aware of everything, like especially if you don't drive, automatic gear. I don't really know all this lingo around the car in English, but you have to be conscious about the different pedals, watching the mirrors, getting to know like the feel of these different pedals. You have to handle the stick. You have to think about all these things, right? And I remember at the start, I started sweating. I got hot from this because you have to stay so aware of everything. And then on this like one session that you practice driving, you will feel yourself improve a little bit. And the next time you come, you can kind of feel that you're a little bit better than you were, at the start of the next session. You're a little bit better than you were at the start of the previous session, but you're not as good as you are at the end, because it's not fully programmed yet. It happens little by little. And so I kind of observed myself during this process. I think a lot about these things and like the nervous system. It's even driving a car, it's the same nervous system as when you're training, right? It's just not as heavy on the muscles, but it's still software on how to do this shit, So I just observed myself as, I kept installing this over and over and over. I understand it's not quite like a habit. We don't think of learning to drive as, creating a habit. It's more like learning a skill. But it's really the same thing, I came to a point, I don't drive often now, but I had to do it recently here in Greece. And now it's, my software is installed. I have not forgotten. It's like how you don't forget how to ride a bike. Even if you're not completely used to it, you're going to be able to, right? So it's going to have to be the same thing. When you want some new habit, eating a certain way, training a certain way, going up earlier in the morning, learning or making cold showers a habit, stuff like this, right? You have to consciously do it before it becomes just part of your programming, a habit. Nice, it's starting to rain now. Uh, but so, for instance, like the point of this video is just that you understand what the process has to look like when you work on yourself like this. So me now, for a longest time, I've had a daily morning habit, taking a cold shower. It's been a habit for a long time, but I haven't missed a day in like literally not one day, and I don't know, even 7-8 months or something like that. And before that, it was like almost every morning, any time. The only time I don't do it is if I have planned something else, like I'm gonna go for a cold plunge in a lake or something. But when I initially did this, this is the point. The difference now is because it's uncomfortable. You never start to like taking a cold shower like that. I mean, you can like the effect of it or something, but you're not like, oh, I'm just waking up, looking forward to my morning cold shower. It's never a thing. But so my conscious mind will often tell, oh, we don't really have to today, do we really? Or we can do this for da 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 da. But because I've done it for so long now, it doesn't matter what story is being told in my head, because I've installed it into my subconscious that, no, but this is not, this is something that happens. After you go up, this is something that happens. But when I started building this habit, I made a conscious decision that it was actually when I went to PT school, to get the certificate that's really useless. I learned much more on the field, but this is how it works these days. You gotta have the paper that says the thing. Anyway, during that time, I decided that, okay, I'm gonna, for at least 1 month, I have to cold shower every morning. I just have to. I decided I don't care about how long or anything. It just has to happen. I go to the coldest water and I cold shower, So every morning, then I don't have it built in. Then I didn't do it like now, where I will have all these thoughts that want me to skip it, but then the subconscious will just like, no, but this is what's happening, I might have, not, maybe I start preparing because I didn't really eat breakfast, doing intense intermittent fasting there. Like maybe I, prepared my food and then went into the shower. I didn't do it exactly in the way I do it now, but I made sure, I know that I have to, before it's a habit, before it's automated, I have to just consciously choose to do it. There's nothing but my conscious mind that makes me do this, right? And then I did it, I think, for 2 months. Then, I stopped doing it for a little bit, but kind of in the same, like on a daily basis, but kind of in the same way that I learned to, drive a car or ride a bicycle. It's a little different, but you see what I'm saying? It was like more available to me because I know I've done this, for 2 months in a row every day. I can go back to doing it, So I sort of learned the skill to take a cold shower in the morning, right? And it's the same. It's the same with training. I remember at first I had all these, I did my workout later than I had planned, or took much longer rest between sets or stuff like this, But I did it. Every time. I'm so relaxed, in a good way, but not necessarily for my flow in this video. No, but I had to it's not no habit at all. I have to tell myself. Even, when it's not a habit yet, you can even sometimes kind of forget. Oh shit, yeah, that's right. I was supposed to have my workout today. Which now, it's the opposite again. Now, even when I'm like, I'm tired, I'm not super motivated by my training right now. But it's like, that's what happens. After you've done these client calls and this morning routine, you go to the gym, that's what happens. So even on a day when I don't feel like it and my conscious mind will make up these excuses for why I don't really have to, it will happen because I've installed it. It is a habit now. It's the same thing with thing like intermittent fasting. Say you're used to eating throughout the entirety of the day and eat something shortly after waking up. It's not a habit yet. Your body, what it knows is I get to eat as soon as I get up, and I get to eat through the entirety of the day. So, you're going to feel like eating many times, and you're going to have to just choose not to. I mean, say you're just going to do something simple as implementing the 16-8. Maybe you have your first meal at like 11, 12, and you had the last meal at 7, 8, somewhere there. But you were used to eating before this. You're going to be hungry, and you're going to be and you're just going to have to consciously choose not to eat yet, until your body's going to adapt and it's now a habit. And that one is, of course, it's a little like, with hormones, hunger hormones, and that will change too, but also just what you're used to, right? What you're expecting, what's automated. Because for myself, I yeah, when I've done I shift around what kind of intermittent fasting I follow, but I don't really even. At first, it was like that. I had to be a bit hungry in the morning and just push through it. Now it's just something I don't really think about because I never eat at that time, right? So it's like, yeah, it's not even an option. So I could go on with more examples, but I think it stands, or I think the point stands now. By now, is my English good? Sorry about the super relaxed massage talk, but yeah, that's the thing with how habits are built. I guess a little point I can add after this, but um, you just have to push through until it flows. And I think that's the title I'm going to give the video. You have to push and keep reminding yourself. And look, you can't with all these things. You're not going to be 100% consistent always. That's the goal, I have to push until it just happens naturally, But you have to also be prepared to maybe slip up. The old programming will take over at some point, and don't escalate into the story like, oh no, I fucked it up and I can't do it, la 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 la. It's like, okay, we start over, or not even start over, we continue where we left off tomorrow. I guess one last story that just came to mind that I know I've told at some point before on the channel was when I got into mobility training and I hired my friend who used to be a coach in that. He gave me like a daily morning routine, and I was used to training in that, but doing that kind of training I was not used to, and not like every day in the morning. And so much my programming was, it's like, nah, this is not what we do at this time. It's tough, but because I have picked up on the pattern already then, how this works, that, yeah, it's gonna have to suck until it doesn't, and then it will happen sooner. I remember just after 1 month of this, all of a sudden I was in love with my like little 10-minute mobility routine in the morning. Like, yes, this gets me going. Yes, it loosens me up. Yeah, because the more you can recognize this, that, okay, I have to push until it flows, the faster it will happen, because you will do. I think I never skipped this morning routine then. Yeah. Okay, guys. Maybe a little messy with my kind of massage-induced high or whatever, laid backness, but I hope the point made sense. So please leave a comment. Any habits you're working on, please let me know, and please like. All comments and likes help support the channel, so it's very much appreciated. You can send me a DM on Instagram or email me if you want to know about my different coaching for fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscles, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, mindset. It's a mindset, guys. Push until it flows.